final station call of the morning, London Waterloo. Upon leaving the train, take all personal belongings with you. Take out the platforms in and around the station. If you see anything suspicious, flag this to a member of station staff or text the British Transport Police 61016.
Welcome to London Waterloo Station. Hello and welcome to London Waterloo East train station, where today I'm going to be trying to find one of the quietest spots in London. What a view in the background there. So I'm just waiting for my train across the London Bridge. It's only a short train journey between here and London Bridge, maybe 4 minutes maximum. It's pretty much under where the Shard is in the background.
This station is Waterloo East. This train terminates at Cambridge. The next station is London Bridge.
So I'm reading a very good book at the moment, and I know it's not quite sit outside and read weather, but I want to see if I can find a quiet spot in London to continue reading my book. So we're just on the train between London Waterloo East and London Bridge, only a short little hop over. So I have a few spots in mind. Having worked in London for a few years, I've got a few little spots that I can head to, and hopefully then quiet enough to read in. You know, if you've ever been to London, you know it's not a quiet place. It's one of the busiest cities in the world, and having worked here for a few years, I know it is. There's not very many places where you can sit in peace. This journey between London Waterloo East and London Bridge is great for sightseeing. We've got the walkie-talkie building, the Gherkin behind there.
We will shortly be arriving at London Bridge. Change here for other National Rail services. Also change here for the Jubilee and Northern lines. Exit here for riverboat services from London Bridge City Pier 61016. We'll sort it. See it, say it, sort it.
London Bridge straight ahead. Financial district in the background. One of the quiet spots I was going to suggest is not exactly very quiet. It does have a nice view of the Shard though. But slightly foiled by some building works. I'll just continue a little bit further towards Tower Bridge. See what's there. The Shard in the background. It's windy today. Yeah, we can go sit down on the beach. That looks quiet, doesn't it? Unfortunately, the place behind me right now where I was planning on sitting, there is a landlord investment show going on. So that's foiled spot number one. So this is meant to be my second quiet spot. Not going well so far. I walked along to St Dunstan in the East Church Garden, which is a old church that was bombed during the Blitz, and has just been left. The remains have just been left, and nature has taken over. But as you can tell, it's not very quiet. There's about 30 school children inside. There's a photo shoot going on to my left. Not going well, this. It's a peaceful setting, but there's too much noise going on. There's building, there's children. I don't think this is going to be a quiet place to read. I do like how it's just been left here. This would be a nice place, But there's too much noise going on, there's too many people. Oh, I used to work just a couple of roads over from here, and as you can tell by the noise and the construction in the background there, it's not very peaceful. Yeah, trying to read here is not going to be easy, unfortunately. Yeah. It is a nice place, and I remember it was nice in summer. We ate on, there's a little patch of grass. Yeah. Yeah. It's meant to be one of the most underrated quiet spots in London. Just doesn't feel like it today. London's living up to its big city name at the moment with all this noise. So I'm going to head along past Tower Hill, Tower Bridge, and then a little bit out of the main city. We'll see if we can find somewhere a little bit more quieter. And to be honest, can't get much noisier. So I've just come down to Tower of London. There it is in the background there, which is a very notoriously touristy area. It's surprisingly not as busy as I thought it was going to be, but there's still a lot of people here, and I'm not sure it's the place that I'm going to be reading my book at, unfortunately. London just seems like a building site at the moment. There's so much building works going on. Just listen to the construction noise. You do get some great views from here, and it is quite nice to walk around. And unfortunately not the peaceful place I'm looking for. In there somewhere, it's the Crown Jewels. I've seen them myself. Very impressive. There's the Shard. That's a great shot of Tower Bridge. Shard just poking up in the background. I'm just below. You probably can't hear me because it's so windy. There's such a wind coming here. I'm just below Tower Bridge right now. There's a nice bench here, but there's so much construction going on behind me there that it's not that peaceful. It's so windy, as you can probably hear. There's great views of London down the back. I've now found actually quite a nice spot with a lovely view of Tower Bridge. The only problem is it's really windy still, and all I can hear is that construction in the background. This is where I'm sat now with this fantastic view of Tower Bridge, but the construction in the background just right through the gap there really ruins the mood a little bit. But I think without that, this is actually not a bad spot. I'd happily sit here and read. It's a bit less windy. But here we go. So this is St Catherine's Docks. It's actually a really nice place to walk around. So I'm going to go see if I can find something or somewhere to sit. But this is a fantastic view of Tower Bridge here. Low tide. And there's the duck in the background. See if we can find somewhere. This is more like it. Look how peaceful this is. Got views over London there in the background. All the fancy boats. It's a lovely old pub there. But this is much more my level of peacefulness. Just going to head a little bit further around. See if we can find somewhere out of the wind. Because it is biting, that wind. It's colder than I thought today. This is a lovely place. So we're not far from Tower Bridge, St Catherine's Docks, which is a lovely place to sit and walk around. The Dickens in here, look how traditional that is. I wonder how old that is. There's some lovely spots to sit and read here. Boats here. Mega. Imagine how much it costs to park your boat in the centre of London. This is lovely. St Catherine's Docks, this is one of the places I recommend to come if you want a bit of peace and quiet away from the city. Hello mate. Whoa. You can still hear that construction all the way from here. Look how lovely this is. Wouldn't know you're in the centre of a city here. I still hear that construction over the other side there, but this is a great spot. See the Shard there, the top of Tower Bridge. Good views over all the fancy boats. Walkie-talkie, the other tall buildings. This is a lovely spot. Shame about the wind, because it is chilly. To find somewhere a bit more sheltered. But it's lovely and peaceful here. Highly recommend St Catherine's Docks. Imagine how much some of these cost, these apartments with views like that over the city. Welcome to Swedenborg Gardens here. About a 15-minute walk from Tower Bridge, about a 5-minute walk from the St Catherine's Dock. It is a nice green space, and I'm hoping that there is a bench or something where I can sit and read. But this is nice. There is a busy main road there behind me with loads of traffic, but hopefully it's a bit more peaceful as we go a little bit further in. And you do have great views over London there. Now this seems like a really well maintained park actually. The grass has just been cut. There's lovely blossom on the tree there in the background. It's quite nice. Let's see if I can find somewhere to sit. This is lovely. I've just seen on the map that there's another garden just around the corner called St George's Gardens. So I'm going to go and have a look there and see if it's nicer or a little bit quieter. The benches in Swedenborg Gardens are a little bit few and far between. I haven't actually found a nice looking one to sit on. Apparently it's just around the corner, but on my right here there's more construction. So it's not the most peaceful bit here, but maybe a little bit further around the corner it will be. So just around the corner we've got St George's. St George in the East. This is called. It's a lovely building. So we can find a quiet spot in the gardens around the corner here. Just through here appears to be. Oh, this is lovely. Oh, this is. I'm guessing it's part of the church gardens, but it's quite nice. There's a couple of benches over there. They look quite sheltered. I think I'm going to go and sit there. This is a lovely secluded spot here. These flowers, they're lovely. There's a big mural up here on the side of this building. Let's go and have a look. Well, that's impressive. This is just at the entrance to the gardens here. I think one of these will do nicely. A little bit old, but it's very peaceful with this in the background. So I think I found a lovely quiet spot here amongst the bushes. So I'm going to sit here and read for a bit. But this is definitely, it was worth a walking out of the main bit of the city. Fortunately, St Dunstan and East Church Garden was not as quiet as I once remember it was. Walking down to Tower Hill and then Tower Bridge again. There were some nice places around there, but it was still too busy and it was quite windy. And then St Catherine's Docks, that was a lovely place. Really enjoyed walking around there. There's also, I think, if it was sunny, a bit more sunny and less wind, then I probably would have stopped there. But I'm glad I've walked further. I've not been to Swedenborg Gardens or here in St George's Gardens, and this is a lovely spot. So I'm going to sit here and read for a bit. So I'm reading a really well-written, beautifully written book actually, called Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmerer. I highly recommend this book. It's really beautifully written. There's a lot of wisdom and knowledge in there about plants and life and the teachings of plants. There's a lot of knowledge in here about the teaching of plants. It's a really lovely book to read, so I highly recommend it. So I'm going to sit here now and read it because it's looking a little bit grey out there, but I've found the quiet spot I was after, I think. So there is a main road just the other side of the just over there. You can hear the traffic in the background, but it's very peaceful. There's birds tweeting in the trees. The occasional ambulance, I can still hear construction going on to my right, but this is probably as peaceful as I'm going to find, so this is lovely. So I think I'll end today's video here in the lovely St George's Garden. This has been my top pick for finding somewhere quiet to come and read. I really enjoyed the walk through London, from London Bridge up to St Dunstan in the East Church Gardens, so along from Tower Bridge, Tower Hill, and then through St Catherine's Docks, which would have been my top pick if it was a little less windy and a little warmer. But I'm glad I didn't stay there. I'm glad that I walked a little bit further to Swedenborg Gardens. That was nice. But here at St George's Gardens, this has been my top pick for the day. I recommend coming here. It's lovely. So I recommend coming here if you want somewhere a little bit away from the hustle and bustle of the centre of the city. And overall, I think this is a lovely place to sit and read. So I hope you enjoyed this little walk around London today, trying to find a quiet spot. I've enjoyed it, and I've found a couple of parks that I've never been to before that are peaceful and quiet for reading, so I'll definitely be visiting back here, maybe when it's a little bit warmer. But thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.